everyone, it's me, Nivids. I'm here with the worst camera angle ever. I swear I have a phone stand that will be on the table for weeks and weeks, and then as soon as a package arrives, where does it go? It literally, I don't know. It wants me to suffer. So this is supposedly my CoralReef Whale Island 62 centimeter body, which I'm hoping is going to fit and be a close-ish resin match to my Married All Round Fang head, which my absolutely lovely and amazing boyfriend is giving me for Christmas. And this package is arriving just in time because he is actually coming down to visit me and exchange our Christmas gifts this weekend. So this literally could not have arrived at a better time. Hopefully I did not scratch the ever-living. Yeah, I nicked it just a bit. Classic Nivids fashion. One stabby stab. So here's the box. Now the funny thing actually is that here's a Legend doll booklet, whatever that's worth. The head that the seller on eBay that he bought the head from was also selling this body. And so when I was doing like my detective work, trying to figure out what resin matches the cookie resin with Married All Round and like what body is going to look good, I saw one singular resin comparison photo with the Married All Round cookie skull resin skull cap, head cap. I've been working all day, I'm sorry. But they had a fairy doll, Fairyland. Jesus Christ. Fairyland tan. And in the photo, it looked like a goodish match. And then I saw a post that CoralReef tan was a good match to Fairyland tan. So in my mind, it's like if Fairyland tan is a good match in this photo, which photos are always a risk, but if the Fairyland tan is like a goodish match to the cookie, and then CoralReef tan is a good match to Fairyland, you would think. And then I was like, well, they were selling the head and this body on eBay at the same time. I thought, what if they had the head on this body and decided to sell it and just sold them separately? So I took the risk of buying this body, and I figure either it's going to be a good match, and I plan on selling one of my other dolls to kind of offset the cost of this. And then if it doesn't match, then I can just sell this body and just make my money back. So either way, we're gonna see here. Here's some little, I think those are shoulder joints. I think you can use these extra shoulder joint pads to beef out the shoulders, or you could choose not to. Oh my gosh, this body looks amazing though. I love this body. I actually saw almost said a bad word. A recast seller listing this body in the photo, and I did a reverse Google image search and saw like that it was the CoralReef body, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that body. I would love to have that body. It's amazing. And then like surprise, surprise, wouldn't you know, here I am, like a month later, buying said body without realizing. It didn't even click until I went to the Coral Reef page and saw the pictures. I was like, that's the picture. I was reverse Google image searching. So yeah, anyway, here she is, the body. Now, I've seen like one person do a review of this body. I am on a little bit of a time crunch. I have to go pick my son up here. But, I mean, that is just incredible. Like, I love how short the torso is. Like, there's something about the short torso and then, like, the arms being a little bit longer. Like, typically with human proportions, the wrist would be, like, even with the groin. But it drops down just a little bit. And then I love this, like, long upper thigh situation. That is just so... And then I'm a sucker for a small bust. I love how the small bust looks. The resin tone is beautiful. I mean... Oh, look at that. Oh, look, I bent her backwards. She didn't even move. I feel like usually you bend that torso piece backwards and it just slides back up. At least in the other dolls I've had, that tends to be what happens. Look at that. The one review I did see said that they weren't the biggest fan of the aesthetic of the peanut joint in the thigh, but I just find something like really charming about it. The feet are beautifully sculpted. I really feel like, obviously, I had a Married All Around Pygmy, but it was the Little Monsters, so she was purple. So I've never seen the cookie skin, but I feel like when people have described it like a warm, but like pale, muted sort of a tan, I feel like this could really work, at least in my brain. So we'll see when the fang head gets here. The only other concern, like the resin match, I can live with not being perfect, but I worry that the head is going to just look too small with this body. So the Married All Around body, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, okay? So I apologize. It's 11 centimeter width in the shoulders, and this is 13, supposedly. So I worry that it's going to look a wee little bit too small. But I'm really hoping it looks, because this shit's beautiful. It truly, like, I love this body. Probably my favorite, like, body I've seen. That's just incredible. I'm gonna go get my sepia head. I'm gonna get a sepia doll. I'm gonna get my Hiji. And we'll see how it looks, and then maybe I'll try to see. I lost my fucking sewing loose, like, limp measuring tape. So I'll try to see if I can find a way to measure her head, because I don't know right off the top of my head, but I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got a little bit of a better camera angle. So anyway, here's my Hiji. She's in the old sepia tan. I really like this body too, the old sepia body. I low-key much prefer it to the ballerina body, which, I don't know, I just am not a big fan of the ballerina body. But, and here's this one. I don't think this camera's gonna do you any good with, like, if you want me to compare the tans or anything. The old sepia tan is really like a rich, warm, very saturated tan. Compared to this Coral Reef tan. Let me see, I need something We'll need something. I'm sorry if there's any people from across the pond watching this and they have to be offended by my horrible fake accent I do. Okay, let's try to see. I think that's not gonna work. I'm trying to find some sort of like string I can use in my sewing kit here, which is just like a disaster. Maybe since that's stretchy, we can squeeze it in there. Do we even need to squeeze it in there? I haven't even looked at how this head looks. I'm trying to get this pulled up. Okay, let's see if I can. Country boys make do. Oh, is that S-hook just too big? Or am I just a weenie? Golly. I think I'm just a weenie. Is this... Are all my dolls just... There goes her ear. Her other ears fell somewhere in my closet. And I have not... I repeat, not made an attempt to find it yet. We're just gonna have to sit it on there and take a peek. I think... Let's put a little head cap on. Just so we get, oh, let's measure one ear. I have to, my closet's full of my late husband's stuff. So I have to like physically dig through a bunch of open boxes to find the little ear. Because I did not see where it fell. So this head, I feel like, sorry, I'm not putting it in the screen just yet. She's fussing with me. Yeah, I feel like that looks good. Almost a little big. Am I crazy? I think it looks good enough. So hopefully, hang on. Hopefully the fang head's a little smaller than this. Maybe I'm just going crazy. This is my thing. This is why I was like never really wanting to hybrid, is because I know that if I know they're not meant to go together, I'm probably just never going to see it as them working together when it's my dolls. When I see other people's hybrids, I think that's amazing. But when it's like my own hybrids, I just know myself well enough. I think it works. I think it's like, I think it'll work if her head is similar in size or a little teeniest, tiniest bit smaller. Okay, so there goes her ear again. The magnetic ears are like really cool, but at the same time, I guess I manhandle my dolls too much for that. So anyway, I love this body though. That's just amazing. It's almost like this bust is kind of wanting to naturally slouch backwards. Like I can see a little seam line right there. I feel like probably I'm not supposed to see. It does slouch forward really good. I almost feel like it's supposed to be just a little bit more forward than it is. Anyway, that's amazing. Incredible. I cannot wait now. So now, while I'm on here, do I have that measuring tape? I had a measuring tape somewhere. This is how I DIY if I don't have like my measuring, like sewing measuring tape that's like floppy, you know, to measure. I just like will use a string and then use my regular tape measure. Okay, I'm gonna just do like around there. I think that's fair. Is that how we're measuring head circumferences, or do we measure it like this way? It's about the same either way. Okay. And I'm just terrible. If I know it's going to be a while, I'll just trim it off. Because I'm going to have to redo it when I find the measuring tape. Otherwise. Okay, so let me put this head back on. Maybe. Golly. Use this elastic to pull this S hook up. Like, that's going to be a good idea. Okay. Oh, why doesn't... Must be a weenie today. Weenie Hut Junior. Okay. There was that. That little, I'll just leave that there. Okay. I'm going to pause this and see if I can find the measuring tape real quick. Okay, quick here. She's 21.5 about centimeters. So, I mean, goodness gracious. The Fang head, I think, is 19, so that will be like almost an inch smaller. So that worries me a little bit. I feel like that's going to be like a little too much smaller. But we will see, because I did think it was maybe a smidgy too big. So like an inch smaller, I mean, how much visual smallerness is that actually going to do? And I feel like the sepia heads do have a large cranium. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to this box opening. I'm so happy to actually be able to do one, even though I don't want to show my face, because I just have always wanted to do one. But okay,